Welcome to the Mero demo. We hope it will be of great help in understanding how the system works. Each client receives an URL to access the system. Here is the home screen for accessing the system. Here we can see that in this demo, the image and colors are those of Mero, but this is customizable for each instance according to the client's brand and primary colors. If the client has the configuration to connect directly to the Azure Active Directory, you will find the login here to do so with your corporate account. In this case, we will enter using the username and password created directly in the Mero database. First, I'm going to log in as Luke Skywalker, who you may remember has the role to input data. Once we enter the system, we find this home page. Mero's interface is intuitive. In the top right corner, we have the user's information. Here, the user can see their assigned user type and can change their language preferences, update their profile picture, change their password, and log out. Next, we have the Help menu. The information displayed here is configurable. We can include direct contact for user assistance, and additionally, we can upload tutorial videos for users to consult whenever they want to learn how to perform tasks in Mero. We also have access to the Notifications menu, where all progress messages from assigned questionnaires, chats, and process administrator messages will appear. The white section of this screen is where all the system information will be displayed. It will change according to the selection made. Now, let's take a look at the navigation menu located on the left side of the screen. The logos on the black vertical bar represent the system modules. In the case of Luke Skywalker, only the Information Management module is enabled. However, when we look at other profiles, you will see how the other modules appear here. In this Information Management module, users first select the event in which they will enter information. Once the event is selected, a summary of the questionnaires assigned to the user and their progress in the process appears. Additionally, there is also a breakdown of notifications separated by buckets to facilitate understanding and ensure no messages are missed. Next, the user selects the role with which they will work on the assigned questionnaires. In some cases, the user may have more than one assigned role. In this case, Luke only has the role for entering data. With this, only the dimensions, topics, subtopics, and questionnaires assigned to Luke appear. Remember that the information always follows a hierarchy. In the environmental dimension, we can see that several subtopics already have a green circle on the left, indicating that all questionnaires within these subtopics have been approved, and thus, their process is complete. But we see that the fuel consumption subtopic has a gray circle. This means that the entire process for this subtopic is pending. Let's go in to see what it's about. Once we click, the first questionnaire of this subtopic opens for us. All questionnaires have the same structure. Let's go through it. At the top, we see this menu that provides general information about the questionnaire and also allows us to describe the process we followed to obtain this data, in case we want to transfer knowledge to future responsible parties for this information. We can observe the approval workflow assigned to this specific questionnaire. This way, we know who is responsible for each step. We have access to chat for ongoing communication about any doubts we may have while completing our process. We can send messages to all participants in the questionnaire or even search for a specific recipient. And we can download this questionnaire if desired. In the top right corner, we can see the Save button, which allows us to save information as we progress through the questionnaire. Since some questionnaires may require a lot of information, it's not necessary to fill everything out in one go. We can return to the questionnaire at any time and continue the process without losing previous progress. We also see the current status of the questionnaire. This status changes as the approval workflow progresses. It starts with input pending, then moves to input for the reviewer, then to reviewed for the approver, and once the process is complete, it's in the approved state. This menu we see here is for navigating among the different questionnaires within a subtopic. In this demo case, there is only one questionnaire, which is the fuel consumption questionnaire. Now, let's look at the questions configured for this questionnaire. Questions can be descriptive, like this first one, which defines a character limit for the response. Each question can be set to require support. In this case, it's mandatory. This support can be a link or a file. If we select a link, we first give it a name, then insert the URL. Provide an explanation of what information to review, and finally, we can leave some additional comments. If the attachment is a file, we give it a name, select the file we want to upload from our File Explorer, provide an explanation of the relevant pages, and lastly, we also have the option to add a comment. Now, the response to this question is ready. Questions can also be numeric and organized in tables. In the case of this second question, it's on a monthly basis. Information is entered for all months, and the first column shows the sum of all months. Question 6 is also numeric but of a historical annual type. The system asks for 4 years to accumulate responses from previous years. If there are previous events, the system will automatically bring in the responses entered in those events, and the user only needs to enter the response for the current event year. Another functionality of the questions in Mero is that they can be tagged with the codes of the standards to which this question provides an answer. In this case, this question is providing an answer to standard GRI code 302-1. If standards are correlated, it's possible for a question to respond to more than one standard. In that case, in this pop-up, you would see all the codes and standards to which it responds. Question 7 is a multiple-choice question. It also has a configurable feature that, based on the response I choose, can enable new questions in the questionnaire. If I choose that we use alternative fuels, question number 8 is enabled, asking which alternative fuels we use. Question 8 is a multiple-choice question. Here, we select the applicable ones. Finally, at the end of each questionnaire, there is a space to add comments if desired. This field is voluntary for users. Once all the information is ready, the questionnaire is submitted to the next step in the workflow by clicking the Submit button. Now, Luke completes the process with this questionnaire and awaits review by Obuan. Now it's Obi-Wan's turn to log in and perform the review process. The first thing we can see on Obi-Wan's home screen is that he has messages from the fuel consumption questionnaire chat, and additionally, there's a system message notifying him that the questionnaire is ready for review. From either of these messages, Obi-Wan can go directly to the questionnaire or use the left menu navigation to reach the questionnaire. When entering the questionnaire, for each question, he has the following actions to perform. He can mark the question as reviewed if he is satisfied with the information entered by his predecessor. He can edit the entered data if he considers it a minor adjustment that he can make himself. Or he can return it for correction if he believes that the adjustment should be made by his predecessor, in this case, Luke Skywalker. For this example, we will return question number 8 for Luke to adjust based on the following comment. We should also review the final comments on the questionnaire and click the Submit button. Since we returned question 8 to Luke for correction, the questionnaire is not finished, and we must wait for Luke to correct this question. We log in again with Luke's profile, go to the questionnaire from the notification, make the correction, and click Submit again. Now we log in with Obi-Wan's profile to validate the new response. mark it as reviewed, review the comments again in case there were any changes, and click Submit again to send the questionnaire to its final approval stage. Now we log into the system using Yoda's profile, who is responsible for approval. We go into the questionnaire from the notification link, and in this case, we will mark everything as approved, trusting that Obi-Wan did a good job with the review. Also, please remember that the approver's profile has the same options for each question: approve, edit, or return for correction. This is the information management process in Mero. That's how all the collection of ESG information within a company is systematized, involving users from different organizational areas. Now, let's look at what global process management entails, with the role of Princess Leia. When we log in as Princess Leia, we can see that she has been assigned more modules in the system. She has access to the Administration module, the Information Management module, and the Analytics module. Let's explore the possibilities she has in each of them. First, let's look at the Information Management module. Here, the process administration profile can navigate and take action on the questionnaires with any desired role. This means they can have permission to enter data, review, and even approve the information. They can be a super user, assisting others in progressing through the process when they encounter difficulties. Additionally, this user has access to all questionnaires within the instance. If you recall, when we looked at the process with Luke Skywalker, he only had access to questionnaires in the environmental and business dimensions. But in this case, Princess Leia has access to all configured dimensions, including social and governance. In questionnaires that are already closed and in an approved state, she can enter and edit the stored information and can reopen the questionnaire at any stage of the process. In this option, she must select which stage she wishes to reopen the questionnaire to and select the questions she wants to reopen. She should always provide a comment to maintain traceability regarding why this questionnaire was reopened. Now let's look at the Administration module. First, we see the management of notifications. Here, the administrator can decide whom they want to address the message to, whether it's to everyone or to someone specific. Define a subject, write the message, and finally, you can select whether it's a dismissible message or if it's permanent until a specified date. Now let's look at editing approval workflows. You can perform a search to quickly find the questionnaire you want to edit the workflow for. And, in this table, you just need to select the role you want to change and search for the person you want to assign. This easily and quickly modifies the approval workflow. Let's now move on to the Download Center. In the Download Center, you can configure as many reports as you need. Let's add a new one to demonstrate how this process works. The first step is to give a title to the report I'm creating and select the event from which I want to download information. Clicking Save enables the report configuration screen where I can start adding different questions. To facilitate the search for questions, we have all these filters. You can apply a single filter or a combination of several to streamline the process. Once we apply the filters, all the questions that meet the search criteria appear at the bottom of this pop-up. And I can start selecting what I need. For each question, I can see its path in the system with its hierarchy of dimension, topic, subtopic, and questionnaire. I can also see the question's text, type, and its status. I can select the questions of interest and click on Save Selection. I can build the report with different queries, even adding responses from different dimensions and topics. I can always save my work and return to it at any time. Then, on this configuration screen, I can arrange the selected questions as I wish using the drag and drop functionality. I also mark the information I want to include for each question. Once I have configured the report the way I want, I can save my work and download the report. I select the format for download. I recommend working in Excel only so that numerical and descriptive information remains in a single file. Currently, we are working on the possibility of downloading with all the questions in Word, but this is not possible yet, so please stick with Excel for now. We select the language in which we want to download the information and click Download. Now let's look at the downloaded file. As you can see, the file's name is the title we gave to the report, along with the date and time of its download. In the file, we can see all the information that was configured for this report. It's worth clarifying something about this download center functionality. The files resulting from this process are extracted directly from the Mero database. They have a generic format for extracting information from the different types of questions that can be configured in the system. Therefore, these reports should not be considered as final reports since some content editing and design work may be required for presentation. They are a good approximation of what serves as input for the final editing and design process of a sustainability report, but not a final deliverable. Customizing these downloads in terms of format and design is a complex process that we are currently unable to undertake. We will continue working to make progress in this area. Now let's enter the Responses Upload menu. With the functionalities of this menu, we can perform the mass upload of responses to the system, and we can configure the APIs for automated processes. In both cases, the process begins by configuring the template with the questions we want to upload in a mass or automated manner via the API. Template configuration works very similarly to the process we saw earlier for report configuration. When you click on Add Template, you define a name for it and click Save. Then, we start searching for the questions just as we saw in the download configuration. Once we have all the questions we want in the template, we can click Download. The download file is an Excel format, and the name includes the title assigned to this template and the download date. In the template, you can see that the file format is in a table with columns and rows. Each row corresponds to the entry of a data point. The file has several columns that provide context to the data to be uploaded, and the columns highlighted in green are the fields where you can upload or modify existing information. When the template is partially or fully filled out, it can be uploaded to Mero in the next menu item, Upload Responses. Let's go through the process of uploading using this example. Select the Upload Responses button, and this will open a pop-up to browse for the file on your PC. Select the file and click Upload. Here, a summary of the action taken appears. If there were any errors during the upload, the type of error and explanation will be displayed here. In this general upload screen, there is a table with a log of all the upload processes that are being performed in the system using this method. To carry out the API configuration process and automate the data upload to Mero, the process begins with creating a template just like we saw in mass uploading. However, additionally, you need to access the User Configuration menu for API consumption. Here, select Add User, enter the user's name and email address. By clicking the Create button, the system automatically sends an email to this user with a token for them to create their API consumption password. With the user created, they can go back to the Upload Responses menu and, under the API Configuration button, consult the manual for its configuration. Right there, they will find the URL provided for injecting the data. These are the various functionalities of the administration module. Now let's look at the functionalities of the Analytics module. In this module, all Power BI dashboards are published, and users can view those to which they have been granted permission. Navigation within the dashboards is done through the menu on the left side of the screen, which is also configurable. Up to 4 levels can be used to group different dashboards. In the case of this demo, the navigation levels are defined the same as the hierarchy defined in the dimension, theme, and subtheme of the Information Management module. For this case, we created an analytical dashboard with information for each subtheme. But before we dive into the descriptive dashboards of the collected information, let's look at the tracking dashboard. This allows the process administrator to track progress in each of the questionnaires, so you can see how easy it is to control the entire process simultaneously with Mero. In this dashboard, I can see the status of all the information. I can query for the specific event in 2022, which is prepared for this demo. In the first tab, I can monitor at the questionnaire level. Information can be filtered by dimension, theme, subtheme, or questionnaire. It can even be filtered by people in different roles in the approval workflow. In this dashboard, you can see different charts to analyze progress at any level of depth, and these are interconnected, allowing you to highlight the corresponding information by clicking on the values in each chart. The second tab of this dashboard works the same way, but in this case, the data count is done at the question level. In the third and fourth tabs, we can do a detailed tracking at the user level. This is a very useful process for identifying individuals responsible for topics that, for some reason, are not meeting the established process deadlines. Now, let's look at what can be done with the descriptive dashboards of the collected information. Let's enter, for example, the fuel consumption dashboard. In this case, since the information is collected at the production plant level and monthly, in Analytics, we can present the aggregated information in different ways. We can see the total consumption of a particular fuel, such as coal, for a specific year. We can also view this information on a monthly or quarterly basis. We can see how consumption is broken down by companies and production plants within this organization. And since we have information on the locations of the production plants in this case, we can also view the aggregated data by countries. All these charts are interconnected, allowing us to highlight the information by clicking on any of the data points. Once again, with well-organized and categorized information in the database, the possibilities for creating analytical dashboards are endless. It depends on the creativity we must deliver value to our clients. Just to show other options, let's look at, for example, the talent development dashboard in the social dimension. Or, for example, the supplier's dashboard in the governance dimension. And so on, we can have all the ESG information of a company organized, categorized, and well presented to make better informed decisions. All these analytical dashboards can be published on our clients' websites, maintaining a direct connection with Mero. This means that every time Mero updates the information, this update will be automatically reflected on our clients' websites. This is what we mean by the next level of ESG disclosure. I hope this demo has been of great help to understand the main functionalities of Mero. We are open to answer your questions and delve deeper into your needs. Thank you so much.